Welcome, everyone, to episode 222 of the Thumbstick Athletes Podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
Well,
Corey,
No Eric today. Is Eric in the chat?
not yet. He'll
okay.
probably show up.
Yeah. Eric had wedding stuff that him and his fiance had to work on. So, plus he wasn't all that interested in talking about Final Fantasy Tactics. So,
Lame.
it was a good day to take off for him. I docked his pay a little bit for not being here, but
I was just gonna throw out the Mel Brooks quote, but
which one?
one that wouldn't have been appropriate to say on the podcast.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of those in the old Mel Brooks movies. But...
Yeah, out of context, those quotes they don't play well.
No, they don't. No, they don't. So our topic for today is Final Fantasy Tactics. Now, this was a listener request, and it's something we've been wanting to do for a while now. Is cover some of the older games, some retro review episode, if you will. And Final Fantasy Tactics is one of the games that's on mine and Will's and Corey's top 5 best games of all time list. So it's a classic. It's one we played a ton when we were younger and continue to play to this day. If you want to watch it, you can watch Corey and Will play on YouTube. What parts 1 through 3 are on there?
Yep.
They had a little issue with the 4th part with the audio not uploading and can't seem to get around that. So
I think we recorded 6 parts, Will.
yeah, I was around that.
But as of number 3, YouTube just will not cooperate. And if you're a YouTube pro, let me know if you have any ideas, because whenever I upload the video, it has no audio on it.
yeah,
I don't know. I tried 3 different browsers, made sure everything was updated.
yeah.
It plays well in VLC. You know, it has audio and video on my computer, but once it's uploaded, just no audio.
Stupid YouTube.
We'll get to that in nibble bits, Dan.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, our topic for today: Final Fantasy Tactics, and also War of the Lions, which is kind of the remastered version of Final Fantasy Tactics. It was developed by Square and published by Sony Computer Entertainment in North America. It was published by Square in Japan. Unlike some of the other Final Fantasy games, Tactics is an isometric turn-based strategy game where the player moves their units around the battlefield based on their stats and whatnot. Units can be one or a mix of 20 different physical or magical classes. Do you guys want to get into the classes before we talk about the rest of the game? Because for me, that's one of the most interesting parts about Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah.
All right. So the first class, the starter classes, Squire and Chemist. Squire is the melee class, the fighter class, the baseline, bottom level. You learn some useful abilities on there, but the primary one is the gained job points up ability that you get from the Squire tree.
Very important.
Yeah, and I should say that there's different types of abilities too. There's movement abilities that you can learn. There's reactionary abilities that you can learn. There's your standard abilities that you learn that you use in battle. And what's the other one? The semicircle one. What kind of ability? What kind of abilities?
Just a secondary ability, right?
It's like passive ability, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Each of the classes has their own separate things for those. So, like I said, with the Squire, the most important one you learn is the gain job points up, and that makes it so the experience in this game is 2 ways. There's experience for your character, which levels up your hit points and all that stuff, and then you have levels for your job classes. So, the higher level you are in your job class, the more job points you get for completing an action. So gain job point up adds is it 50% more job points or something like that? It's a significant amount, and it makes it so you can level up your character classes a lot faster.
Yeah.
You earn more character abilities.
Yeah,
I think it's
because you unlock them with the job points that you learn from doing abilities.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact number. I think it was 50%.
It's like 50% more. So there's that. Chemist. Chemist is the first level in the mage class. They're the people who use items, and their like primary ability is being able to throw items. So and as you gain job points and level up, you unlock the ability to use more different types of potions, different things. They have was it move +1? Is it that?
No, the Squire has the move +1.
Oh, Squire has the move +1 too. I'm not going to get into all the abilities for them. Knight is the standard like heavy fighter class. Other than the physical capabilities, I never found their abilities to be that useful.
Yeah, I never liked to like break armor and stuff like that.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem that useful generally for the short amount of time that the battles are in.
Especially when the hitting percentage is so low.
Yeah, it's usually like 40%. Maybe you could get 50%, and I don't think concentration factors into that. Concentration's ability that makes it so you hit 100% of the time.
Yeah, I don't remember if it does or not. I don't think so, but it's been a while. I don't ever really use the Knight ability, so
yeah, same here. I pretty much have that to win the early battles.
Yep.
In the game, you have a Knight to take some hits and deal some damage. Priest, which is the white mage, that's the healing class for those familiar with the Final Fantasy job systems. Healing class. I don't know that they have anything super interesting.
No.
Archer's also obvious one. They're the ranged attackers. They can have crossbows or like a standard longbow, warbow. They're the ones that have the move +2, right, on their thing.
Thief. No.
Thief.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Thief has move +3, I think.
Oh, you're right. Yep, move +3.
I'm also going to get these a little confused because I've mostly been playing the War of the Lions version on my phone, and some things are different from the original version, so it gets a little bit confusing. But they have an ability called Concentration, which makes it so you hit 100% of the time, which is also really useful, especially for later on when you're trying to hit knights and lancers or dragoons, who are generally hard to hit. If you have the concentrate on your characters, you hit them every time with a physical attack. So it's very useful. Wizard, which is black mage, they're the ones that cast the ice and fire and lightning spells, and they're the damage dealer mage class. So monk is on there.
Ram's a specialty.
Yeah, I always have Ramza be a monk.
Same here.
It's because his brave is high.
Yeah. Monks are unarmed fighters. They wear light armor. They move quickly, and they have martial arts abilities like chakra, which heals your guy and guys like kind of near you. Aura blast, like I said, Aura blast I think is what they call it now on the War of the Lions.
Yeah, it is Aura blast.
Like Sabin's Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, a little bit like that. It's a ranged physical attack. But for me, the most useful ones that the monk has are the counter.
Hamido.
Which is if you get hit physically, you hit back, which is nice. But there's also, is it Hamido or first strike?
Yeah,
I think it's first strike in yours.
First strike in mine. It makes it so that when someone comes to physically attack you, you hit them first and they don't do any damage to you, which is also really useful for later on when you're fighting dragoons specifically because they hit so hard.
Yep.
It'll negate their entire attack. So, Oracle is the next class.
Never use one.
I've never used one either. I might have gotten like poached one ability off of the Oracle. Yep. In the newer versions called Mystic.
What? You guys don't like the Oracle?
Not really.
I never used it.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, I can see where it's handy, but the way that I fight isn't like using blind and stuff like that.
I'm pretty aggressive.
No, isn't the? Oh no, I'm thinking of the Orator.
Orator.
Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
Or the Mediator.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
Oracle sucks.
There's that one. Thief is obvious. They steal things, but they can also one of the more useful abilities they have is to steal heart, which you charm a character from the other team. You basically charm them.
Oracle
they
sucks.
have to be opposite sex, of course. This was made in 1998, so
there's another one of those little opposite gender things, like
is there?
Not being equal.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes it so that character fights for you for a little while. They're also really fast. Like if you're fighting in a battle, they'll probably fight first, unless you're fighting against other thieves. Time Mage. Time Mage is another of the magic class. Obviously, they speed up and slow down your characters. I think they have a couple damage spells, but their primary thing is like I use it for haste. They can paralyze other characters or stop their movement, stop their actions. But a lot of that stuff tends to be low hit percentage.
Yeah.
Geomancer is another class.
I don't use very much.
I don't use Geomancer either. They had a useful ability in War of the Lions, and I don't remember what it was now. I could look it up, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, you're right.
Corey, much experience with Geomancers?
What do they do? They're the ones that, depending on the terrain that your enemy is standing on, is the spell you use, right?
Yeah, they're obviously tied to the terrain that they're fighting. They have a couple of abilities, like they can walk on lava, but there's not that many lava maps that I can think of. Maybe two. They can walk on water, I believe, which could be useful, but I'm probably not that useful.
It's a cool concept for a character, and I like how it utilizes the environment and plays off of that. It's fun, but for me, that's just another one of those stopover classes that you need to level up on your way to something else.
Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
It is, and it might have one useful ability that you might want to fold into a larger build, but otherwise not that useful. Next on the list is Mediator or Orator in the newer game. Corey, I'll let you talk about that one since you seem to.
They can fight. I forget what their weapon is. It's like a dictionary or something like that, right?
Yeah,
something
I think
stupid.
You're right.
But my favorite ability of theirs is what they do is they talk, and that does a number of different things. You can use them to increase your allies' brave levels, and I think faith as well, lower the enemy's brave or faith. But my favorite one, and I forget the name of it, it's like a charm, but it's permanent. So you can talk an enemy into joining your squad permanently.
Oh, you can steal them.
Yes.
Huh. I didn't realize you could do that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's why that's one of my favorite classes, and it's usually a little or a low percentage rate of success, depending on the statistics. It's sometimes as low as 5%, and I've never seen it higher than like 40%.
Right.
So it's a low rate of success, but it's really helpful in some of those harder battles later on if you can just switch somebody over to your side for the remainder of the battle. And then if you don't want them after the battle's over, you can just dismiss them from your party. But they do join permanently, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I want to say I used that like way back in the day and haven't since, Yep. Next on the list, Lancer and or Dragoon. This is my favorite class, actually.
Yeah, it's one of mine.
I find them to be one of the most useful. So they're heavily armored class, so they get a lot of hit points because hit points in this is mostly based on armor, also based on level a little bit. But heavy armor grants you the most hit points. But they use a spear, which means they can attack from 2 spaces away, which is really good, especially if you're fighting someone that has counter because they can't counter you. But they also have the ability called jump, which is where they jump up in the air and come down and land on something. And their main skill like set is increasing the distance and height that you can jump, and it gets to be pretty significant if you level it up all the way, as long as you're able to time it right, because while you jump up in the air, like other characters will do their actions. So if you hit someone that like just took their turn, you'll plop down on them and do like quite a bit of damage. It's a very, very useful ability, especially like against mages and stuff. You're not in their casting circle to get hit by their spells and stuff. You're up in the air, safe, and one of my favorite classes. I usually like to roll with 2 Lancers in my party.
They also have the auto revive ability too. Right?
Yeah, it's
Dragon's Heart.
Dragon's Heart, yeah, something like that. So if you get knocked out, you revive right away. Isn't it like 50% of your health or something like that, or 40%?
It's a good amount.
It's a decent amount. That's a pretty useful ability. They also have the ability for their movement to ignore height, which means they can jump up onto anything in the entire in any map. And there's some maps that have really steep areas, and you're just out of range of everybody if you can get up there.
Yeah.
Which is very useful. Corey, what's your thoughts on the Lancer?
Yeah, like you said, it's Dragoon too, right?
Dragoon, yeah,
Yeah, the new one.
Dragoon Lancer. Yeah, like you were saying, that jump ability is really cool because it takes you out of the fray for a little while. And I can remember a couple times in battle that saving my Tookus a little bit, being able to jump out of the way. And then if your Dragoon speed is high enough, you can jump and then take a turn while your enemy. You can essentially sometimes take 2 turns to your enemies every one. So you can like jump up in the air. They take their turn. They can't hit you. You can come down and then get an attack afterwards. So that saved me a few times. And like you said, that ability to jump to anywhere, height-wise, is really handy. And that's one of the things I really like about the game, and the charm of the game is like there are areas that seem off limits unless you have this one obscure type of class's obscure ability that lets you get to that point.
Yep.
And then you can use it strategically against the bad guys.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's cool, yeah.
Yeah, like you could even because you can mix and match abilities as much as you want. Once you learn it, you can use it. So you could have an archer who learns the lancers ignore height. They can jump up onto something high and just shoot arrows down on people and not be hit because they're out of range of everyone else. The mixing and matching of classes really allows you to open up your imagination to not cheat, but use a few loopholes in the game. So that was Lancer. Next one on the list is Summoner. Obviously, mage class. They're the class. They summon the classic Shiva and Ifrit, and it's Carbuncle on there. I don't remember exactly.
Carbuncle is on there.
Carbuncle, Moogle. They summon to do damage or heal or what have you.
Strong, very very strong.
Very strong. Yep. They can't really take a hit, but they can do a lot of damage. The summons take up quite a few squares too on the map. So
wide area of effect.
Yep, if you're clustered together, where you don't want to be clustered together if you're fighting against a summoner, you gotta space your characters out so they don't all get hit. Next on the list is Samurai. Samurai are obviously physical warriors, but they have an ability where they use the spirits of the weapons that they have, which do different things. And you can use them a certain amount of time and they'll break and you can't use it anymore. Don't they have another? I feel like they have a really useful
Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher. Is that where they equip a weapon with 2 hands to do more damage?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Dan, where is Gimli? Is he in the studio?
No, he's upstairs, like right above us. Yeah.
He sounds like he's there.
We try to keep him from barking, but that's just impossible.
Gimli.
He's very loud. So yeah, that's Samurai. Bard. Does anyone have any experience with Bard?
Very little.
I've never had a Bard in all my years playing this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never... Because you get him so late in the game that, like, my classes or my team's already set.
Yeah.
So I never really play with the Bard.
I've never done a Bard. Corey, Bard?
I can't remember. I know I've used a Dancer more regularly than a Bard.
Dancer is the female version of the Bard.
Okay.
Male has to be a Bard, a female is a Dancer.
Well, what I like about their abilities is that, I don't know if the Bard does this, but I know when the Dancer does it, you just do your ability, whatever it happens to be, and it affects all your allies or enemies. I can't remember which is which. I think isn't one just support and the other is offense?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't know.
I don't have experience with either of them. So.
I know I've used a Dancer quite a bit before, but not so much a Bard.
Gotcha. Ninja. Ninja's next on the list. Ninja is another, like the Thief, a really fast character. They can throw weapons like shurikens or they throw balls. Elemental balls.
Yeah.
Which do like magic type of damage. But they can also dual wield.
Yep.
You can equip I think that's not a standard ability, but that's one they have to unlock, right?
It's for the ninja if you automatically dual wield, and then you can unlock the dual wield, and then you put it on whatever
character you want. I wonder if you could do like a Lancer dual wield.
No, because the lance is a 2-handed weapon.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, because you can have a shield.
Yeah.
Hey, you're right. Okay, never mind. Maybe.
I'll have to try that.
For a reason, I thought that was a two-handed weapon.
Yeah. Ninjas, high damage dealers. Calculator or arithmetician is next on the list. Don't know. I've never used one. Or briefly.
They're hard to use, but they're fun.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Corey?
Say again?
Calculator or arithmetician?
Oh boy, I never figured out how to use one. To be honest, I could try and bullshit my way out of this one, but
it uses something with height and stuff like that. I don't know.
Okay.
It's really.
Sorry, don't they have one really good ability?
They can do something and cast Holy on every character on the battlefield,
Okay.
except you can equip one of your players with something that absorbs Holy. So like you automatically kill everybody except that one character, and you can just keep rolling through battles.
Oh, it's like multiples, right? Like Holy level 2, and then if your level is a multiple of 2, right?
It's stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Which is one of the most interesting mage classes, I think, in a RPG.
Word. Dancer, which we already kind of talked about, and then mime. Does anyone have had a mime? Has anyone had a mime? Mime's kind of a hard class to unlock because you need to have one character. I should say some of these are unlocked by leveling up certain classes, to certain levels. Like the Dragoon is like a level 4 thief, a level 3 squire, a level 3 knight.
Yeah.
To unlock that class. And mime, I think it doesn't have to have 2 level 8 things and then a few like level 4s. It's pretty high.
It's a lot. I don't remember specifically because I don't really use it.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of like grinding out levels with characters.
Yeah. Corey, have you ever had a mime?
I think so. I think it was one of those things where I just kind of gave myself the goal of getting a mime.
Yeah.
Not for any other reason other than
just to have one.
Just to say I had one.
Yeah. I gotcha. And then for the War of the Lions versions, there's a couple other really hard to unlock classes. One of them being the Onion Knight. Will, have you ever had an Onion Knight?
I have. I think the way that makes it the thing that makes it good is having level 8 classes.
Yeah.
You have to have, if the more level 8 classes you have, the better it is, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's kind of a blank character, I guess you could say, the Onion Knight, and you can kind of equip it with whatever you want, like weapon-wise and item-wise, equipment, all that stuff. It's kind of a blank slate for a class. Never had one of those, although, like I said, I've only recently played the War of the Lions version. And then there's Dark Knight. Have you had a Dark Knight, Will?
Oh, I make Ramza dark.
Oh, do you really? Okay, now that's a hard one to unlock because for that one you have to have a Master Knight, Master Black Mage, a few other classes at level like 4 or 6 or 8, but you also have to have 20 confirmed kills.
And they have to turn to crystals.
They have to turn to crystals. When you knock someone out on the battlefield, they're just there unconscious for a while, and then after 3 turns is when they actually like die, and they'll either give a treasure chest that you could go pick up, or they'll drop a crystal which you can go and go on the crystal and recover your health, or a lot of times you can learn an ability from a crystal from the character. So. Yeah, you have to have 20 of those, and most battles don't last long enough for you to get a lot of those.
No, generally what I would do is I would use Ramza to kill everybody, and then I would mortally wound somebody to the point where you would just kind of walk away. And then I would just have everybody use Accumulate over and over again until everything turned to crystals, and then I would go kill.
Yeah, that's kind of a grinding trick too. Like if you need to unlock an ability, that's what you would do. Because there's a bunch of skills that you can do in the game without actually needing to do damage. Like I would have Ramza. He has one called Tailwind in the War of the Lions version, which increases his speed. So I just have him use Tailwind on himself repeatedly. So he would have 2 or 3 turns for every other character that has 1 turn.
That's another one.
It's just a way to boost your job points to unlock any skills that you might need.
And the Black Mage isn't easy to max out.
No, because the top level spells take like 1,000 job points for and like when you're pretty high, like I think my Black Mage right now is getting 42 job points per attack.
Yeah.
So when you figure, each attack is 42 job points, you need to have over 20 just to unlock 1,000 job point spell.
Yeah, which
It's a pretty hard class to unlock.
And there's a lot of spells too. So,
or is it 800 for the top level and then 1,000 for flare? Maybe.
I think it's like 1,200 for flare.
Yeah. So, that's a rundown of the classes. Let's talk about the story a little bit, shall we?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I didn't take any notes on this part because I didn't get done.
Off the cuff.
Corey.
Yeah, bro.
I'll lean on you for story. I know you were kind of looking into the story as you were playing your playthrough.
I was trying to figure it out a little bit. So it takes place at the end of what's called the 50 Years' War, right?
Yep.
And it takes place in essentially what is one continent. And there are continents I think there's 3 other continents. The names I can't recall, but it doesn't really matter. And you see some characters. It's kind of like the first couple Dragon Ages where you hear them talking about these other lands and characters from those lands are in the game. But I digress. So it's the end of the 50 Years' War. There's a little boy who is the king, I guess, for lack of a better word, and the king needs somebody. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word for that. The regent?
Steward of the throne?
Steward, yeah, kind of thing. And there's 2 princes that are kind of duking it out for that role, Prince Goltana and Prince Larg. And you essentially unearth a conspiracy by the church to take control. This is the real abbreviated version. And play both sides along the way. And that is the story. But what I like most about it, specifics aside, is how it's more inspired by medieval, European medieval history than it is what we're used to in JRPGs, which is, fictional, cyberpunky, or even more East Asian history. And also the whole aspect of the church and stuff like that. It's like a Christianity religion, which was refreshing at the time. I know we've seen a lot of stuff since, but those are my favorite aspects of it.
Yeah, I really hadn't played anything like that up to that point.
Yeah.
That was that familiar.
Yeah.
To a Western audience. A very very familiar feeling concept for a story. Yep.
And I mean the very opening scene of the game is in a church.
Yeah.
And they're like praying to God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool at the time and it still holds up, but that's another rabbit hole to go down.
Yep. One of the interesting things you mentioned, Corey, was you talked about when you were doing your playthrough about how Ramza Beowulf was a little bit like Jon Snow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought that was neat.
Was that relationship ever really discussed?
What's that? Ramza?
Yeah.
Ramza's mom was a commoner.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like that. I don't know if it was, I would assume that it was a marriage because I think Alma has the same mother, right?
As Ramza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they have the same mother.
Because Ramza's other brothers were Zalbag and Daisadarg, but they were with royal blood.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you have half commoner's blood.
That's why Daisadarg's kind of a major Richard to you.
Wait, so where's their mother? Dead?
No, there's no mention of her. I don't think in the game at all.
I think I read the wikis a lot.
Yeah,
I think she's dead.
Okay, I'm sure she is because there's no word of her at all and throughout the game. Really.
No, other than the beginning where you just learn that he's half brothers with Zalbag and Daisadarg.
Yeah. And like Corey said, story still holds up to this day.
Oh, that story's depressing and touching and it hits every emotion.
Yes, it does.
It does. I mean, I know we just referenced Game of Thrones, but it does kind of play out like that.
Yeah.
With the, it's low fantasy, but then the high fantasy stuff sort of kicks up as it goes on, and you find more and more like magic stuff and demons and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But just the incestuous, well, not specifically incestuous, I don't mean that literally, but the relationships and the interplay and all that stuff, the backstabbing and all that.
Yep.
The game does play very much like a Game of Thrones
Yeah, absolutely.
video game.
And I've been playing. I talked about this before, but I've been playing on the mobile version, which actually plays surprisingly well. Me not being a fan of touchscreen controls for anything really, other than like Angry Birds, I've had relatively few problems with it. Some of the menu navigation's a little bit weird, but it runs really well. So if you're looking to get it, that would probably be your best bet. It's hard to find, to say the least, like a physical version of it, you know?
I mean, if you have a Vita,
Well, yeah, it's the same version though.
yeah, you can buy the old version or the new version on the
Oh, you
Vita.
can get the old version.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah, because in some ways I like the old version better. I think I like all the improved dialogue and stuff on the newer version. It makes the story a little bit more clear.
The only reason why I like the new version is because they have the Onion Knight and the Dark Knight. I hate that they renamed like the Wizard.
Yeah,
the Priest.
a lot of the names changed, which really seemed unnecessary.
Like eye gross becomes ear gross or whatever.
Yeah,
like I don't.
There's a lot of weird name changes that don't really make sense.
No stuff that it's like really.
It just confused me.
Exactly.
Because I knew all the characters from playing it for so long. Though I never beat it until 4 in February a couple of years ago. That's
right.
Of all the experience I had with the game, I never beat it until 4 in February.
Because you kept on getting stuck at the end of Act 3, right?
I would get stuck at the end of Act 3 and at the end of Act 2 when you go into the underneath the church.
Oh yeah. Where you fight,
there's a library down there, and I would get stuck there because I wouldn't make multiple saves. Like I would go in there and not be able to advance and just get stuck.
Did you get stuck on the fight with Islud or Wheatgraph?
I don't know. Probably both.
Mm-hmm. You'd get by one, and then you'd have to do the other.
Yeah, because you save like after you see a cutscene. So I would save over my save from being outside. And just wouldn't be able to advance.
Which is crazy to think that was a thing.
That you could get stuck. You could literally get stuck in that game, and not be able to advance.
And never beat it.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the early days of the internet where you had to go to GameWinners.com to look up?
Yep.
I remember going to school and printing off like 100-page FAQs.
Yeah.
With all the knowledge, every little detail. It was all text, like it was like a textbook.
Yeah.
100 pages for like Final Fantasy VI or Final Fantasy Tactics or EverQuest even. I wasted so much paper at school.
And you'd read that instead of the book for English.
Oh well, yeah, of course. So, Corey, do you have any other thoughts on Tactics?
Overall?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, anything I missed that you want to talk about?
Oh, well, I mean, I scribbled down some very broad strokes, but I did want to point out that the director of the game, Yasumi Matsuno, is the Unsung Story game designer. So if you joined that Kickstarter and are wondering the inspiration behind all of that, Final Fantasy Tactics is his game. So
yeah.
I'm not sure. Is he the main guy on Unsung Story or just participating?
So.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought so.
Doesn't really matter. Yeah, I just want also all the Easter eggs and secrets and stuff like that, like the ability to unlock Cloud, the cameo by Aerith or Aerith.
Oh yeah.
And your pronunciation, all that kind of stuff.
There's actually a fair amount of secret characters that you can come across and recruit to your party.
Beowulf.
Some of which, Beowulf is one of them. Some of which are really cool, and also like fairly off the beaten path. Like there's no way you'd come across that just by playing the game.
Yeah.
Most of them are in Act 3 and Act 4, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's any early in the game, but that's a really cool. Like Corey said, you can recruit Cloud to your party. I just recruited one because I'm at the very end of Act 3 right now. He's like a hunter guy. There's
Luso?
Luso, yeah.
Yeah, he's the Final Fantasy Tactics A2 main character.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't know who that was. That was not something I did in or that was in the original Final Fantasy
You
Tactics.
probably saw the cutscene. You're like, what the
Yeah,
heck?
yeah, and some of the cutscenes I didn't care much for, but I think I started to get used to them. They're well done. It's just I'm used to the cutscenes being in the actual like game.
Yeah, just
Engine.
Game engine, right? Exactly. So
yeah, no, Luso is the A2 protagonist.
yeah. Corey, any other
Confusing
thoughts?
plot. We talked about this a little bit, I think, when we discussed the game last week or the week before, but it is very confusing on what's going on. Again, like Game of Thrones. Steep difficulty curve. The first two battles are super easy, and then you get to that one in Dorder.
Oh, Garland Magic City, is that the one?
Garland, that's easy. That's the first one, or second one, I guess, technically.
What's the name of the Dorder?
Yeah.
Dorder Trade City.
With the wizard
Yep.
and the knight. Fencer.
Yeah, that kind of comes out of nowhere because I remember first playing the game and you don't really know what's going on, but you also at that point only have like your beginner classes.
Yeah.
You really have to grind a little bit right at the beginning there, and get a knight or two, an archer or two, or a black mage or a white mage, to be able to get through that battle. That's a pretty tough one, and even me like playing it this past month or whatever, I still died a couple times during that battle, knowing it's coming.
Yeah.
And being prepared for it. It's still like you said, Corey, pretty steep learning curve.
Yeah, I think Corey and I in our video lost the first time.
Yeah.
Got lucky. Well, then we leveled up. I think we grind. I think we only fought one extra battle to level up a little bit, and then we went back and lucked out and got through it.
Yeah.
But there are like all throughout the game. It's a really unbalanced game overall.
Yeah.
And I mean that with utmost respect, because for me that's a lot of the fun of it, is kind of coming up with these wonky combinations that sort of break the game.
Yeah.
It's like once you get Orlando,
Yeah.
the game, you might as well put it on autopilot because it's just really easy. You could just put him out there and he'd win every battle.
Yeah.
See, I've when I actually beat it, I refused to use him.
Yeah.
Out of principle. I probably when I get to him on playing on my phone, I'll probably just use him because I beat it without. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just kept him on my
Just use
on
lightning
the bench.
stab.
Lightning stab. Yeah. Well, I know that's a bastard when you get it done to you.
Yep.
Yeah. Corey, going off of what you said, there's a couple of battles like where Ramza is trapped away from everyone else, has to fight on his own, and if you don't know that's coming, you're probably in for a bad time.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have a bad time.
There's one where he's one-on-one with Gafgarion while the rest of the party fights outside the wall, and like if you don't know to like, what I would do a lot of times is have Ramza be a monk at that point, so you could chakra yourself and heal at least some of the damage until you can get down and open the switch and get out before Gafgarion kills you. But there's one where, who is it? It's actually the one I'm stuck on. It's at
one-on-one with Weegraf.
Weegraf, yeah.
I'm convinced nobody's legitimately beat that fight.
Yeah, just by like fight, because I use the
Tailwind ability, right?
No, I've been using a Dragoon.
Yeah.
And jumping.
Yeah.
But it's
Really?
different. Well, here's the thing. It's different on War of the Lions. In War of the Lions, he actually moves if you're not careful. In the original version, he would just stand there while you were up in the air and take the hit.
Really?
Yeah. It's a lot harder on the new one, and that's why I'm stuck at the end of Act 3 right now.
Because
I'll get it figured out.
This is what I did. I used Tailwind. I forgot what it's called in the original, which raised my speed, and I would do that until I had like 10 turns in a row. So then I would kill him, and then Ramza would get 10 turns right off the bat to start when you're fighting Phelius, which is his
So what
Zodiac.
did you like give yourself potions or something, X potions, when you needed to heal?
You basically there's a way you can move to where he can't hit you, and once the first time he can't hit you, you just gotta choose the right path to stay away from him far enough to where he can't like being able to hit you, and you just keep going back and forth and like dodging him and moving around, and by that time like you'll have enough moves to kill him.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll have to try that because I'm having trouble with that one. Because even if like I've made it through that a couple times, but Ramza's almost dead by the end of it.
Yep.
And then all those gargoyles come in and just
Destroy
mop the
everything.
floor with my party. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forget. Once you once you beat him, you have to do another battle right after that, right?
Yeah, your guys come in and are just meat shields.
What a tough game it is.
It is a very hard game.
And then you have another fight.
That's why I was never able to beat it until 4 in February.
Yeah.
I made sure I was prepared and I did plenty of grinding, so my characters were all high enough levels.
Yeah.
And stuff. But
what's everybody's favorite battle in the game?
I'd have to think about that one.
I always liked the one with Mustadio.
Oh yeah.
In what's the name of that city that he's from? With the wall. When you meet him.
Goog?
Yeah, Gouge, Machine
Gou?
City.
Yeah.
Or
Goug.
It's probably like goo or something.
Yeah.
French.
Oh, I like the one where you're going to save Ovelia from being executed.
Oh yeah.
But it's a trap.
Yeah.
And then there's the time mages up on the wall. I really like that one. That one's always been a thorn in my side, but I really like that battle.
That's a really hard battle.
Yeah.
It's funny though, and I don't know if this is just because I've played the game so much, but each of those battles kind of stand out in their own way, and I think of them as like classics, you know?
Oh yeah. I'll remember those battles always, forever.
Exactly.
Just because I've done them so many times. Like I said, towards the end of the fourth act, maybe not so much. I haven't had as much experience with the fourth act. But
a lot of the fourth act battles stick out to me, like the one where you have to kill Zalbag.
Yeah.
At the end, because he's possessed, but he's aware.
Yeah.
It's a very sad fight.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever see a game like this again, because I think nowadays, like, they would try so hard to make everything so balanced that there wouldn't be the sort of fun environments. It's not fun first anymore. It's, we got to make sure this is balanced first.
Yeah, you don't want to make it too hard because you're going to turn people off to it.
Right. Like, we see that especially in shooters, with the level design of the multiplayer maps and everything, is they're not as much fun because they just have to make it so it's super fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Tactics is a very unfair game. Like I said, a lot of the battles when you first start it are trial and error.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You go in and you get you get your ass kicked, and then you go back into your party and you're like, okay, I can equip this skill or learn this skill to help me deal with this attack, or I'll make my guy faster. I'll change his class so he attacks first, so I can stop this. It's experimentation, but it never. I guess it never feels like unfair. I guess it's just fun to go back and reinvent.
It's punishing.
Your party. Yeah,
it's kind of like a Dark Souls kind of thing,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's fun to go back and reinvent your party just for that one specific battle, to get through it. And you get a huge sense of accomplishment when you're able to beat it.
Oh, that one battle where you're in the swamp and it's all ghosts, and you can just walk around putting Phoenix Downs on all the ghosts and they die.
Or if you kill them and their timer goes off, they don't turn into a crystal. They come back to life.
That's right. Yeah, you got to be quick.
If you take too long.
Yeah, but that reminds me of another battle. You know the one where you're in like the city sort of thing, and all of the dead of that city are there to defend it. It's in Act 4. I don't know if you guys would remember it.
Oh, right towards the end.
Yeah, and they're the spirits of the people who died there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another battle that I always really liked.
Good stuff.
In the one you mentioned earlier, Dan, where it's one-on-one with Gafgarion and you have to open the gate for your teammates.
Yep.
What I always did was put a black chocobo as my party, fly the black chocobo up on the wall, put Ramza on him, come back down.
Fly over.
And just leave Gafgarion back there until everybody else is dealt with.
Nice.
Smart.
That is smart.
Yep.
Especially Gafgarion's a jerk.
Yeah, yes. That one battle where he turns on you.
Yeah.
If you know it's coming, you can unequip. You can make him a chemist and unequip everything, and then one hit kill him.
I do that every time.
Yep.
But the first time, I was just like, "What?
Yeah, like how am I supposed to beat this?
This is impossible." Everybody turned on me.
What do you guys think is the most difficult battle overall?
I mean, without doing the exploit, I think the one-on-one fights are always the hardest. So like, Ramza fighting Weegraf is probably the hardest without doing the exploits. in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. I'm having a lot of trouble with that.
As I said, I'm convinced nobody's like legitimately
Beat him in a one-on-one fight.
without being like 15, 20 levels ahead.
Yeah,
So
I could see that. That's fair.
I'm gonna go with the execution site.
That's a hard one.
yeah, that is a hard one.
Yeah,
That's probably my favorite though. Like I said.
another trap. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, it means it won't mean anything unless you've played it, probably.
True.
A lot of the traps are with Gafgarian.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Oh, the one with Tata up in the tower. That's a fun one too.
Yeah.
August.
Or Tetra, I think she's called in
Yeah.
War of the Lions.
And August isn't August. He's
Argrath.
Argrath. Yeah. I don't like that. August is a perfect name for him.
It really is.
Or is it Agarth?
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Do you remember the fight, Dan, in the War of the Lions one where you fight him later in the fourth
I haven't
act?
gotten there yet.
Okay.
I'm at, like I said, I'm at the very end of the third act.
You know of that fight though, right?
No.
Really?
I know from
you-
you talking about it.
Did you not beat the War of the Lions one?
No, I played the old version when I beat it.
I spoiled. That's another one of my favorite fights.
Oh, that's fine. It still doesn't mean anything to me.
You fight him again.
I will enjoy that. I'll enjoy killing him a second time.
And he's just as big of a jerk as he was the first time.
I'm sure. Sure.
I spoiled. That's another.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, if you're interested in playing Final Fantasy Tactics, the War of the Lions version's on mobile devices. Like I said, even with me hating mobile games,
It's worth it.
it's works perfectly fine. You can get it on PS Vita, right? Will?
Yep. Both versions are on there.
Okay. PSN, PlayStation 4,
Not PlayStation 4, 3.
PlayStation 3. Okay. But yeah, I mean, the mobile version will be the easiest to find. I actually bought mine on sale for I think it's normally like a $16. I think it's $15.99, but I'm pretty sure I got it on sale for like $10.50 or something like that. So you can get it on a sale. At
The
some
bigger
point.
your screen, the better, though. I will say, going from the iPhone 5 to the iPhone 6, it was way better to play on the screen of the 6, even though that was
totally.
just a little bit bigger.
I could totally see that. I'm playing on the Galaxy Note 5, which has a huge screen, so it is very nice. It even works on tablets and stuff. I don't think it works as well on tablets just because they're a little bit too big. I would think maybe a small tablet would be nice for it, but it does work nicely on a big screen phone.
Yeah.
Do we want to take a break or do we want to get into?
I'll take a break if that's all right. We'll be quick.
Yeah, okay, no problem. We'll be right back in just a minute. All right.
Sorry, I was a little distracted there early on. We had a gentleman from Scotland who was chatting with us in the.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's gone now, but we were talking about Braveheart.
Nice. I really want to go to Scotland.
Yeah, he was talking about it, and I was like, I know this sounds dumb, but ever since I saw the movie Braveheart, I've always had a soft spot for Scotland.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, no, man, I totally hear you.
Fantastic.
Oh my God, Ross is doing up 3 goals, Dan.
Ew.
Brust?
Bobrovsky.
Uh,
Nashville's beating Anaheim 3-0. That's nice.
Bruce. Rangers are winning. That's good.
Dan, you
Rhino.
forgot to ask for spoilers
What do you mean?
for what we're going to talk about later, what we played.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had a good one.
Oh, I did because I wanted to tease Massive Chalice.
And I played Soma.
Oh,
You blew it.
damn it.
Make sure you put the new games we played in the iTunes description.
Okay, do you want me to put like underneath the sentence or two's
Yeah.
summary? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say we also talk about.
Yeah, like Corey
Damn it.
also got his hands on Soma this week, you know.
Okay.
Just anything that is in that time period where it's search worthy, you know?
Yeah. I gotcha.
Because like I talked about the beginner's guide last week, that would have been a good one to put in Undertale the week before. You know, anything that's timely.
Gotcha.
Because based on what everybody's told us on how they found us, is they found us by doing a search in iTunes.
Search.
So
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Totally.
All right.
All right, I gotta get another drink. Are you going, Will? It's just me and Dan again.
I don't know. I'm debating. I didn't play anything, so if I at most I'll leave then.
Do you have to work tomorrow, Will?
No. But I gotta get up and study. I hate my life.
Come up here and study.
There's a chance I might do a little bit of schoolwork when I'm up there.
There's no distractions up here.
I'm still debating on whether or not I should bring my computer. Do you think I should bring my computer?
That's up to you.
It's just a pain.
Yeah.
Not just loading it, but bringing it all the way into your apartment and then packing it up. And
Well, you gotta make a pros and cons list.
yeah, but my cons are I'm lazy.
Yeah.
That's the biggest con.
Yep.
What? Why do you do that?
Aw. All right. Bye, Sparky Doodle. Bye, Dan.
Skedaddling.
Bye, Will.
I don't wanna. Probably join the chat.
Yeah. See you, Will.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let me know if you want to ride up with me.
Yeah, I'll text you as soon as I know.
Okay.
So I think what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna make Muddy Buddies.
Oh, nice. Yeah, just let me know what I need to contribute.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna buy I'm gonna buy stuff to make Muddy Buddies. Just stuff. I'm gonna make like a slow cooker thing of sausage and peppers just to have,
Nice.
and just because that'll save us some money. I know like Eric wants to get pizza and stuff, but
Yeah.
if I buy some like groceries, it'll be a lot cheaper than going somewhere to eat every meal.
Definitely.
And then I was gonna make like a sausage casserole for breakfast, like a breakfast casserole.
Beautiful.
And then I'll just have like eggs and some snacks on hand, and then
I'll probably stop at the store and bring a couple things too. And I'm going to bring all my booze that I have.
there you go.
It's mostly beer, but I have a little bit of liqueur that I'll bring.
Cool.
Just mostly to get rid of it. You know?
I hear you.
Room. All right, ready?
Wait just a second. Sorry.
Okay. Just me. Dang it. Quiet up there, Gimli.
I'm gonna have a couple beers, Dan.
Nice.
Lube the mechanism.
Yeah, I hear you.
Been a while.
I should probably do that too.
I always before John Liga's wedding, I practiced for like a month leading up to it,
Yeah,
and I was a champion.
probably not a bad idea. My tolerance is pretty low right now.
Yeah, it was nice. Wait, what happened to everyone? Oh, we're here. We're here, beardless. Well,
Yeah.
Dan and I.
We were on a break. It was just me and Corey now. Will had to go to get. We should say we're going up to Corey's for the weekend. Oh my God! If that dog doesn't stop barking, hang on.
Yeah.
Quiet.
There it is.
Jesus. Anyway, we're going up to Corey's for the weekend for Eric's bachelor party. So, Eric didn't want to spend tonight in addition to the entire weekend away from his fiance probably. He wasn't that interested in tactics either anyway. And Will's got to do a bunch of schoolwork, so he doesn't have to do as much schoolwork this weekend. So that's part of the reasoning for the skeleton crew, right?
That's right. Skeleton crew is right.
All right.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 222 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. We are now in our Nibble Bits segment. Corey, Will is also pieced out, I should say, before we get into it.
You know what, Dan? I'm gonna go. You got this.
I could do it on my own. It would probably only take about 20 minutes.
Have you done that before?
No, I did. I did the recap last year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But I would talk for like a minute or two to set up whatever segment I was going to play from a previous episode. I'll probably do that again this year. Give the dudes a week off before Christmas.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead, Corey. Nibble Bits. What do you got?
I only have a couple of PC ports to discuss. Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns. I already thought it was on PC. Turns out it's not. It's coming to PC in December. I played 13 and 13.2. I have not played Lightning Returns yet. So maybe I will. I don't know. I didn't hear great things.
I just bought 13 not that long ago to play at some point.
Don't bother.
Why?
It's not that good. It's really,
I know.
Really not.
I still want to play it.
I know. I guess I don't blame you, but just play like the first 10 hours and then call it good.
I could do that. Although I don't like to leave things unfinished, even if I don't like it.
13.2 was all right. It was a little bit better. And then Galaxy, which is a game I really want to play that's on PS4, is coming to PC on October 29th, so 7 days from now, which is awesome. I'll probably get that day one.
Same day as No Man's Sky.
We'll find out. Isn't the Paris Game Show on Tuesday?
Yeah, it starts sometime next week.
Tuesday the 27th.
Still rumors floating around that they're going to announce available now.
That would be crazy. They could probably pull it off, though. A smaller team.
Sure.
Probably don't even have to tell the team, like, this is the day we're flicking the switch.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'd love if they could do that. That'd be amazing.
That would be great.
Wow.
Konami has denied claims that Hideo Kojima left the company. They said instead he's on vacation, which made me think of Forrest Gump and Forrest Gump's mom.
Yeah.
Mama, where's Daddy? He's on vacation. Mama, what's vacation? It's where you go somewhere and you don't ever come back. Which is I think what happened to Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just the Japanese trolling us, but we'll find out. What they said is that he's just on the typical post-release vacation, which is pretty standard for a lot of big developers. Once they put out a big game, the team gets to go and be with their families and recover for a month or so.
Now, I thought it was like known news that he was not with the company anymore. I thought that was the thing.
That's widely understood to be that way, and in fact, there was a reporter for the New Yorker who said that he left the company as of, I think, Monday. He reported on this, that he left the company earlier this month. Konami said no, so then he posted a picture of Kojima's farewell party on Twitter. It's like, then what's this?
Yeah.
And Konami's just like, oh, I don't know, blah blah blah. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're trying to pull, but whatever.
Maybe they're trying to not make it seem like they're only going to make mobile games from now on.
Yeah. You know what? And the thing about it is I don't even care.
Yeah.
It's sort of like celebrity news. You don't care, but you kind of can't look away.
Yeah. You have to know.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Like, whatever. I hope he's not there. If he is, okay.
Yeah, I hope
But
they don't force him to try and make the next Candy Crush saga. Like just let him go and let him do his own thing.
let him spread his oats.
Yep.
He's a young man, for God's sake. Actually, I don't know how old he is. YouTube has a subscription service called YouTube Red. $9.99 a month gets you ad-free videos. You can save videos to watch offline on mobile, and you can play videos in the background on a mobile device. I'm not sure what that means.
Maybe just the audio.
I guess. I don't know. It doesn't seem worth $10 a month to me. Ad blocker blocks ads in YouTube videos. That's free. Different variations of ad blocker. You can save videos and watch offline on mobile. That's kind of a cool feature, especially now that a lot of news articles and stuff, and news itself is sometimes just video. So, I mean, that could be handy, I guess, but I don't know, not for $10 a month for my money. $12.99 for iOS users. And the reason for that is Apple takes a 30% cut on everything on their platform, so Google's just passing that on to the consumer right away. Those $3.
Might as well.
Sure. No specifics on the revenue sharing with content creators. Apparently, Google said it will pass on most of the revenue, but of course, this upset the YouTube content creator. Yep.
Some of the big YouTubers, anyway. I know PewDiePie's. He's going to have an exclusive show on YouTube Red.
Yep. Well, the reason why they're upset is because they have to sign off on this, and if they don't, all their videos are getting set to private.
Okay.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Honestly. And like you mentioned, they're doing original content. This is from Ars Technica. One show, you mentioned this already, Dan, but it's one show is called Scare PewDiePie, starring the namesake YouTube personality and created by the creator and executive producers of The Walking Dead. The show entices users to experience thrills, chills, and laughter as PewDiePie encounters terrifying situations inspired by his favorite video games. Other shows follow a similar format, taking the YouTube generation and throwing a big budget behind them. The shows will launch early next year.
It sounds interesting. I don't know. I will have to see how it all plays out, but I mean, my gut reaction is I don't like it, but being a person that's generally scared of change.
Well, what confuses me is I don't think the people that would pay $9.99 for a YouTube subscription are also the same group of people that would watch Scare PewDiePie.
Right.
Want to watch Scare PewDiePie,
Yeah, because that's the younger.
Yep.
Younger people that are
kids.
Into PewDiePie, yeah.
Kids mostly. I mean, PewDiePie is a handsome guy.
Yep.
I don't think I'm wrong to say that most of his viewership, or a large portion of them, are young girls who are attracted to him.
Yep.
And he to be fair, he's good at what he does, but still, I think that crossover is small. Anyway.
The emperor of the internet, as Stephen Colbert called him.
Yeah. But I mean, we'll see. I will never. I'll never say never, but as of right now, I have absolutely no reason to shell out $10 a month for YouTube.
Yep, same here. I get annoyed by ads, but not annoyed enough to spend $10 a month to not see them.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see what kind of original content they come up with, especially if it's gaming focused. It would be fun. Like I would watch a Hearthstone show.
Right.
That would be pretty cool. But we'll see. That's all I got.
Okay. I got a couple. According to a report from the Wall Street Journal, Nintendo has begun sending software development kits for the NX console. Wall Street Journal's sources say the NX has, quote, at least one mobile unit that could either be used in conjunction with the console or taken on the road for separate use, end quote. And will use industry-leading chips, meaning it could be more powerful than the PS4 or Xbox One, which is something we said we thought it needed,
Yeah.
Is to be more powerful, be that gap between the, current gen systems and PC and have, if it can pull off better graphics, that's...
Yeah. You guys said that. I think I disagreed with you on that point, but...
Okay. That might not be what industry-leading chips mean, but that's what I and other people took it as meaning. So
Well, we kind of nailed it though in our speculation episode.
yeah,
Isn't that pretty much exactly what we described?
Yeah, like a console that you can take on the road, basically. Yeah. That's pretty neat.
It's exciting. It means we could have it as early as next year, right? Isn't that?
They're saying holiday 2016 is the tentative release date from all the rumors I've read about it.
All right.
So that's awesome. Not that I love my Wii U, but if Nintendo can push out another console that's going to sell really well on top of having the quality Nintendo games, that would be amazing, you know?
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. If I didn't have Mario Maker, I'd trade in my Wii U.
Right.
And I just don't have the heart to not have access to Mario Maker, you know?
Yeah.
I feel bad getting rid of it.
Do you have anything digital on your console?
Nothing I paid for, I don't think. Just the free games that I got from Nintendo Club points.
Right.
I have Galaxy 2. Super Mario Galaxy 2.
That's right, because that was wasn't it like $5 on a sale or something?
5 or 10, yeah.
Because I bought that
good deal. And I did it for 4 in February.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So that's Nintendo NX news. Star Wars Episode 7 trailer. Did you watch it, Corey?
I sure did.
What'd you think?
Trailers, I don't know. Trailers don't do it for me much anymore.
Yeah.
What makes a trailer for me is the music that they use.
Uh-huh.
And this one, was just orchestrated stuff.
It was Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. I think it'll be a fantastic movie, but as far as the trailer goes, I actually read IO9, did a breakdown, and that was pretty interesting, just the speculation on what everything was, but I can't wait to go see the movie.
Yeah, same here. I mean, unfortunately, I'll have to wait until probably after Christmas when it calms down a little bit, because I can't go into a movie with a full audience. I like to go in there when there's no one in there.
That's why my favorite time to go to the movies is Monday at about 3:30.
Yeah. If I could go at 9 o'clock in the morning when no one else is there, I would do that. I think the earliest some of our show times are is 11 for our theater, which I would go to. But
does any part of you want to do the marathon where you watch all the Star Wars movies and then this one?
Probably not. That's too much movie for me.
Yeah.
I could sit and play a video game for that long, but I don't know that I could watch movies for that long.
Yeah, you know what I would do if I was hosting something like that? It would be well, I guess you can't do it in the winter, at least in the north, but make an event out of it and do it at a drive-in theater and grill and sell beer and, make a festival out of it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be fun.
Another good idea. Brought to you by the Thumbstick Athletes.
Yep, let's do it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the trailer. I think it looks like it's going to be a little darker than... it looks like it's going to be on par with Empire Strikes Back. It seems like it's going to be dark, but...
Is the main character the girl?
I have not read a single thing about plot or anything like that. Okay. I know nothing about the storyline or anything, who the characters are. Nothing at all. Other than, obviously, Chewbacca and Han Solo and Luke Skywalker and Leia. I obviously know they're going to be in it, but I don't know who any of the characters are.
Yeah.
I've been purposely avoiding reading anything about it. So.
It'll be here before you know it.
I'll be interested to see if they use any of the expanded universe characters at all, or if that's all that stuff is just gone.
I don't know. Yeah. Inspiration only, I guess.
Yep. And then my last little bit, Telltale Games Game of Thrones Episodic Adventure will finally conclude with its final episode, number 6, called Ice Dragon, releasing November 17th. Now, I had thought this was already done, but I was going to play the Game of Thrones game maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And I went on the forums just to see if anyone, I always check there before I install a game to see if, common issues that people have like launching the game. So I can be prepared if the game doesn't work. I haven't had that problem in a while, but a lot of people said that they didn't know when the last episode was coming out, and I didn't realize it hadn't been completed.
Yeah.
because I feel like it's been out for a long time, and I also feel like it's been a long time since the fifth part came out. So that was surprising to me.
You own all the episodes on Steam, right?
Yeah, I bought the.
Okay. So I can play them, right?
Yep.
I played the first episode on iOS, but I'll just start again on PC,
Yeah,
I guess.
I'm looking forward to that. I guess I got to wait about a month now, but can't wait to play it and immerse myself in the Game of Thrones universe.
Attaboy.
So good. So that's all my nibble bits. How was your week, Corey?
Good. I have. I was gonna talk to Will about American Horror Story, but he's gone.
Yeah.
But I started. What night was it? I crawled into bed one night and I couldn't sleep. And I'm normally a pretty good sleeper for the most part. Like hit the pillow and I'm out kind of guy. But every now and again I have some issues sleeping, so I assumed there were some good sleeping podcasts. So I typed in, I forget what I typed in to iTunes to search for sleeping podcasts, and I found this one called Sleep With Me. And it's by this guy, and all he does is talks. He just drones on. It's just like stream of consciousness about absolutely nothing. And he stutters a little bit, but not enough to where it's annoying. And he'll like start to say something and then change what he's saying, and he just jumps all over the place. And every now and again, he'll latch onto something for a little bit and then lose track of it. And that's all he does. He keeps saying over and over again. He's like, well, what I'm trying to do here is drone on and give you a safe place to forget about what's running through your head, and I'll just drone on for a little bit here. And like I was listening to one the other night, and it's so dry, and it's a little bit self-deprecating, so it's kind of funny, but it's just like it's just entertaining enough to where you pay attention, but there's it's nothing of any substance.
Right.
So the gears aren't turning in your head. It's just like he was talking about when he played T-ball or something like that, and how he cried at the end of the bench or something. It's just so funny.
Nice.
Maybe I don't know. I want to play a clip of it, but I want to ask him if I can play a clip of his podcast on this podcast.
There you go.
It's one of those things that you got to listen to because he has one of those voices too that I always said like the best way to fall asleep is to just have somebody talk to me.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what it is.
Nice.
So if you need some help sleeping, check out the Sleep With Me podcast.
And has it helped you fall asleep when you're having trouble falling asleep?
Oh yeah, so much. And I think he's from Syracuse.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Or at least the central New York area, because he was talking a lot about the area. So.
And what a dump it's.
No, not that I've only listened to a couple episodes, and even the ones I listened to, I probably only made 10 minutes into.
Gotcha. Before Nina, as they say.
Yeah, and then the other thing I want to talk about is I taught my girlfriend how to play Hearthstone.
Oh.
And it turns out she really likes it.
Really?
Yeah, she's big into card games.
Yeah.
Which I think helps. And I was just like, hey, why don't I teach you how to play Hearthstone? And, she did the whole, and I'm like, come on, just do it for me. And she did. And I didn't even say anything. And she finished the first game and she just started another one. And then she installed it on her phone and did all the tutorial missions on her own and everything like that. And it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get her to the point where she's doing like daily quests to get new cards and stuff like that. Because I think that's when it gets real addicting.
Yeah, and then you can talk strategy and stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, it is kind of funny watching her play.
Right, as someone new to the game.
Yeah, because it's like, no, that's the worst move you could have done. But,
right.
I think back to when I was first starting out, and it seems very simple once you've played the game for over almost 3 years, I guess, at this point.
Right.
But yeah, like when you're just starting off, you don't realize like the value plays and stuff like that.
Yeah, I have no idea what any of that stuff is.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's been my week.
Okay. I got a couple quick things to talk about. So I sent you guys a picture in my Kick chat. I I called a local place called Gary's U Pull It, who come and pick up old cars, and I had them take away my car of 12 years the other day, yesterday actually. I had been tossing around the idea of selling it, but no matter how hard I tried, I could not get it to start. It definitely needed a new battery. I'm pretty sure the alternator had gone bad. So at the very least, if I want to sell it, I would have to be able to get it started, which would mean a new battery. It had a lot of minor like mechanical problems, but I also think the head might have been going bad on it. So rather than the hassle of trying to sell it, the whole haggling thing never appealed to me. Because I would have just put it in the front yard with a for sale sign on it, and that means people knocking on my door at random times. If my daughter had been napping and someone knocked on the door and woke her up, I would have been really pissed off because she doesn't sleep very much. So that wouldn't have been a good situation. So I took a lesser amount of money just to have them come and take it away. So
why didn't you ask your brother if he wanted it? He needs a car.
I wouldn't have felt comfortable giving you that car.
All right.
Just because it had so much wrong with it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want you to fix it up and have the engine blow up on you in 1,000 miles. It was that sort of thing because it's been pretty much sitting in my driveway for a year.
Yeah.
I drove it, I think, twice over the winter, and then once we got our brand new car, like it's just been sitting in the driveway doing nothing for. I guess it would be like 6 months now, and I might have started it once or twice in that 6 months. So. In the summer when it was nice and warm, now that it's cold, it wasn't starting again. No matter how hard I tried with charging the battery, I think the battery was just dead.
Was it the original battery?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but I did have the original battery in that car for probably 10 years.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 2001. I bought it in 2003. I've had it for over 12 years. So it was sad to see it go, but it was time to.
What'd they give you for it to junk?
I got $100, for junking it. But like I said, like I probably would have only be able to sell it for $300, maybe $400, but I would have had to put money into it. I need a new title too. That's which is another $60, and waiting for the a month or whatever for them to get me a title, a new battery at the very least. So that would have cut into profit.
Yeah, time is money and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Time, and I'm with you.
Yeah. So I did that. I'm up to 12 pounds lost too.
Hey, all right.
My Fitness Pal. I think I was like 8.5 last week when I did it. Surprisingly easy too. I really got used to eating less. That's going to get ruined this weekend with all the drinking and eating I'm going to be doing. But
it's a rock star diet, Dan.
Yeah. Well, and one of the problems I always had when I started eating less and dieting was once I got off of it, I kind of stayed off of it. But I think, and I talked about this a little bit last week, but I think, tracking everything, even if I go 3 or 4 days where I eat bad, I'm eventually going to be like, okay, I need to get it back down to under my calorie limit for the day, So I think that's going to help a lot when I get to, Monday, when I get to Monday and I want to start eating better, it'll be easier to do. Because a lot of times I would just carry bad eating. I'll be like, I'll just finish out the week eating bad, and I'll go back. And then I wouldn't. It'd be months later, and I'd still be overeating like I do. So that's all I had going on this week that I can think of.
Dan, I was doing our Thummies master document.
Yeah.
That's what I spent most of yesterday creating that.
Nice.
And, I went back and listened to episode 24, which happened to be our 2011 Game of the Year episode before they were the Thummies.
Yeah.
And you and Eric, that's when you guys started talking about your weight loss stuff, and you said you said both of you were like, let's start announcing our weight at the beginning of every episode.
Yeah.
And
I've done
just funny.
I've done that a few times actually on this podcast. I lost a ton of weight before my wedding. I had lost like 50 or 60 pounds before my wedding, and that was like the thinnest I've been in a while. But I like to eat, so I've got my whole thing. I just needed to not eat as much, and This has helped me do it. So
It's I eat my feelings a lot,
yeah, me too.
which isn't a good way to do it. But one of the things I notice is if I don't get a good night's sleep, is when I can't eat good,
Right.
eat well, eat
You're
healthy
trying to,
stuff.
well, you're trying to, because you don't have any energy, you're trying to get energy from calories.
Yeah, that must be it. But it's the days where I'm either like hungover or didn't get any sleep. Where most when I get up in the morning before work, is I have a cup of yogurt, and then at lunch I have a salad. It's a pretty big salad, but at least it's good for me for the most part. Um, and on days where I get very little sleep or like I drank the night before or something, I just cannot eat a salad. My body will not let me eat a salad at lunch. I have to get whatever comfort food the
Yeah,
cafeteria has.
yeah, I hear you. Like today, I had just a horrible day. With my daughter specifically, who's hitting her terrible twos stride. Um, and all I wanted to do was stuff my face with pizza and or Taco Bell. But I didn't because I would have been over my calories. So it's been very nice.
Yeah.
So okay, shall we get into what we played?
Yeah, I'm ready, I think.
Corey, I will let you go first.
Well, I didn't get to spoil it at the top of the episode, but
Yeah, I forgot.
that's all right. I played and beat Soma.
Hey, well done.
Thank you. So add me onto the list. I'm on a roll, Dan.
I am also on a roll.
Have I passed Will yet?
We're both past Will.
Whew.
You're tied with me. We're tied at 26.
Oh, okay. What's the last? What did I beat before Soma?
Um,
Beginner's Guide? Is that on
Beginner's-
there? Okay. Soma's a really good game.
I've heard good things. I really want to play it.
Really, really good. And if I were to recommend it to anybody of us, Dan, I would recommend it to you for sure.
Oh, cool.
For sure, the most. It's so the setup is you're this dude. His name's Simon Jarrett, and the game starts up, and you're in this apartment. You find out you were in a. This happens before the events of the game, but you were in a car accident. You had some brain damage. Not sure if you're gonna live. You're healthy as of the moment, but according to doctors, you could die in the next few weeks or whatever. But you meet this doctor who is going to give you this brain scan. This all takes place in the present day. He's going to give you this brain scan because he has this advanced treatment that he thinks will help you diagnose what's wrong with you and help you recover and live a longer life. So you go into this brain scan. Your brain gets scanned. The screen goes black. Next thing you know, you wake up 100 some years later, and you are in an underground complex. And I guess it's not really a spoiler to say the world is ending on the surface above you. It's creepy. It's a whole lot of fun. You don't have to kill anything. Well, you could kill things, but it's not. You're not using guns to shoot things.
Right.
And anytime there's death, it's like a story bit. But what it deals with is like sort of metaphysical and like what does it mean to be human and like human consciousness.
I love that.
Really, really interesting concepts. The backstory and end story and plot of the game is super interesting. Every time I stopped playing it, I couldn't wait to play it again. I think it took me about 10 and a half hours.
Okay.
Well, that's the how long to beat, but I think I was right around the 10 and a half hour mark.
Gotcha.
I'd have to go back and look to be sure, but I think I did it in 4 sittings. But there's a lot. It's some really simple puzzle solving and a little bit of dodging the bad guys. There's these enemies that wander the complex that you're on. It's called Pathos. Pathos? I think it's Pathos. Which that's the one part I was kind of annoyed by. There's these monsters that are here and there, and you have to not be seen by them and avoid them and sneak around them, and that can get kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Do you remember that game I played early on this? I think it was early on this year. It was the black and white one where you go into the haunted mansion.
Yeah.
What was that called? I can't even remember.
You beat it, right?
Yeah, I think so. but that's kind of what that stuff reminded me of. Is it just kind of got in the way of the story?
Shiftlings, White Knight,
White Knight.
White Knight.
White Knight. Yep, that was it. And I kind of like the idea that there's a threat that you have to avoid, but there's times where it kind of just feels unfair and isn't fun.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's not consistent with how it deals with noise and how, like, line of sight and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It seems to switch based on, you know.
That's the problem with a lot of the stealth games that I play is it's not it's hard to base your strategy on the enemies and stuff if they're inconsistent on what they pick up on, you know.
Exactly, yeah. So that was the one annoyance with that game, but I absolutely loved it.
Uh-huh.
You definitely need to play it, Dan. Somebody else needs to play it so we can talk about it. But yeah, it's just really fun science fiction, really entertaining. It deals with the hard questions, you know. Not a lot of games do, and makes you think quite a bit.
I love that.
And anytime you beat a game and you immediately go to forums to look at the discussions and join the discussions, that's a really good sign.
Yeah, I love doing that.
And this is one of those games that did it for me. I guess I don't know what else to talk about because I don't want to spoil the story too much. But
Yeah.
oh my god,
And
it's so good. Highly recommended.
nice. Okay.
Other than that, just the old standbys. I'm still doing my playthrough of Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls. It's funny how I know how we talked about Final Fantasy Tactics and each of those levels, each of those battles feeling like classics, you know, every single one of them, and that's how it kind of is with Dark Souls 2. Is even though I only played that game once before, I had to play through certain parts of it so much that it's like riding a bike trying to find my way through.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and still holds up. I did boot up Civ 5.
Okay.
Played for maybe 2 hours or so. That game has changed quite a bit since it came out.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know at what point I bought all the DLC, but somehow I have all the DLC.
I think they had packs like you could just, or was it on part of a Humble Bundle maybe?
No, I don't think Civ's ever been in the Humble
Oh
Bundle,
yeah, it
has
has.
it? Really?
Oh yeah.
But apparently I have all the DLCs, and I don't know when I bought them.
Yeah, it adds a lot to the game.
Yep, like religions and stuff like that. Piety, I think, is the religious resource.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked
word.
being, usually when I build an empire, I usually like to have economic power over the other countries, and that's the Brave New World expansion really dealt well with all the trade stuff that I really liked. So
Yeah.
that's good stuff.
It is good. It's one of those things though. Like, I love that game. I've played it a lot in the past. In the couple hours I played through it, other than the new stuff, I didn't feel like I got too much out of it.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem with doing. I mean, the only problem with doing the podcast is that's a game I would definitely play more of. That and Crusader Kings 2 and Europa Universalis 4. But like you said, you don't get anything new from it. You feel like you should be playing a new game instead of playing something you've put hundreds of hours into.
Exactly. Yep. I only have
our dilemma.
like Rocket League and Hearthstone right now are the games I keep playing that I'm not getting anything new out of.
Yeah.
And you only got room for so many of those
games. Yep. The only ones I play are Mario Kart and Splatoon. Those are my games that I go back to and not getting anything new from, but just play them.
Yep.
Because they're fun.
And speaking of that, I'm still doing my playthrough of Final Fantasy VI on iOS.
Uh-huh.
I've played that game so many times that I'm starting to come up with my own theories.
Wow.
About things.
Nice.
Like, do you think Realm and Gao are related?
Maybe.
Brother, sister?
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. Like, I don't know, like trying to read between the lines.
Mm-hmm.
I just got to the floating continent.
Okay.
And I think I have about 7 hours on my game.
Okay. Yeah, that's fast, but you know what you're doing.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Oh, do I? But I still get that nostalgia shot when I play that game. I could still, like, there's certain points that'll come up in the game and I'll be like 8 years old again,
Uh-huh.
in our parents' living room playing Final Fantasy 6, or
On the Super Nintendo.
yeah, late at night when I'm supposed to be sleeping.
Sneaking downstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
What a great game. But that's all. Soma was the only thing new I played, and I'm really, really glad I did.
Cool.
I want you to play it, Dan.
All right, maybe I'll see if I can get it for a sale or something.
Yeah.
Okay. I played Pillars of Eternity and beat it.
I saw. Congrats. I saw your achievement on Steam. That kind of spoils it, but
What's that?
that you beat the beaten games.
Oh yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
your achievement. One of the achievements was beat the game.
Yep. Yeah. Like it's not obvious,
Yeah.
So the final boss battle was quite the battle. I was still a hair under leveled for it, but I was prepared with like potions and stuff, and I made sure, having experienced the final boss battle, that my abilities were kind of in line with what to expect. And even as prepared as I was, I still died probably 2 or 3 times. But every time I kept advancing a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further, I knew it was only a matter of time before I finally was able to beat it. But when I finally beat it, I only had 2 characters left alive in my party: my main character and Kana.
Which one's that?
He's the chanter,
Oh,
the
okay.
bard guy, the big guy with the pointy teeth.
Mm-hmm. Looks like an orc.
Yeah, he looks a little bit like an orc. Yeah, there's 3 different entities, I guess, that you have to fight when you're doing the last boss battle, and I got down to the last entity. That's not spoiling anything, and I had to kite because they're both neither of them are like a melee or a tank character, so I kept having to kite the last entity that I had to fight. And my character was a wizard, so what I was doing is, as I was walking around, I was having, I should say, Kana, one ability that I just figured out that he had after playing the game for like 45 hours was, if you let that counter on the bottom get high enough, you can summon, like I was summoning giant ogres. And I didn't even realize you could do that until, like I said, about hour 45. I was like, hey, something new.
Yeah.
Learn all the time about this game. But I was setting up like traps behind my character, making the bad guy walk through them, and like firewall was another good one. Like that, I have force field type barrier too that I was setting up to keep my distance, but it took some inventive tactical maneuvering to beat the last boss. But man, that game was awesome. I really, really like that game. And I like how everything wrapped up at the end. They kind of gave an overview based on the decisions that you made, how that affected the world after everything was said and done. And it makes you wonder, like, a lot of the stuff, the choices that I made didn't turn out very well. Even though I felt like I was doing the right thing at the time, a lot of it had pretty negative consequences on the world, which I think that's cool. That's one of the things I always liked about The Witcher, is the unintended consequences, of your actions. So I'd be interested to go back and see if some of the other decisions that you make had happier outcomes or worse outcomes even.
I don't feel like Pillars of Eternity has remained part of the conversation.
No, I don't think it has. I think people played it and had enough of it, but
I wonder why that is.
I don't know. I really, really liked it. I mean, I would probably play it again if, again, I didn't have other things that I had to move on to and play.
Mm-hmm.
It would definitely warrant another playthrough. I do want to get the expansions too. The White March Part 1 and 2.
It's a whole other act, right?
Yeah. Yep. A different area. I don't know if you have different. I think you have some different characters in your party. I don't know if you have to start all over. I didn't read into it because I didn't want to spoil anything for myself. But I definitely will play that at some point.
Yeah, I wanna finish it before the year is out.
Yeah. Just go back to it. It's really good.
Well, my work hours might change, which would give me way more video game time.
Yeah. Yes, it would.
So,
I think it took me about 50 hours, maybe 52 hours to beat it. I was gonna write down the exact hour amount, but I forgot when I was doing my notes. But it was right around 50, like um, Metal Gear. So I beat that, and then I moved on. I was having trouble deciding what to play. It was between Massive Chalice and the Talos Principle. And I wanted to play Massive Chalice because I know you and Will had already played it, and we'd had some listeners chime in about how much they liked it. So I wanted to, so we could talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I love Massive Chalice. I think I've started playing it. Was it yesterday or the night before? And I played like 12 hours of it.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that we talked about it like before, so I won't get too into it. But I really like the lineages of your heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm my two main houses that have been going for a long time, since from the beginning of the game, are Sager and McTavish, and they're both Caberjacks. For the majority of the game, or at least I bet you the first 75 years, I only had Caberjacks. I could not get an Alchemist or Hunter to stay alive for anything. And still, like I think I'm 80 years from the Chalice being fully charged right now. I think I played 220 years or 215, something like that. I still don't have any Hunters. I'm only Caberjacks and Alchemists, and then I like the hybrid classes too. Those are neat. The brutalist and what's the other one? The Caberjack and Alchemist mix. I can't think of it.
I can't think of it either. That's gonna bug me.
But yeah, that's a really awesome game too. And another thing that I like about it is that no matter how hard you try, you're gonna have some characters die. You're gonna lose some pieces of your landmass to the cadence. It's just
I only lost one piece, Dan.
I've lost one piece so far too.
Okay.
I didn't have anything on it, but it's when they're those the cadence attack from three sides. That's the hard thing to deal with. When you're only dealing with two, it's not too bad, but yeah, three is definitely hard.
My progression with that game was when I first started playing it. I was like, oh man, this kind of just feels like a thin tablet game.
Yeah.
And the more you play it, like the more layers upon layers upon layers, and it gets super deep. I don't know. Was your experience similar to that?
Yeah, it's surprisingly deep. Like I said, matching up the right heroes to get the right traits, and for your lineages and your houses, and the relics that you get from your characters, and I built two sage keeps for researching stuff faster. It's a really well done game. I think underrated. I think on Steam the user score is only like 72%. It's crazy to me because I think that's a really, really good game.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I'd be interested to see what those reviews say.
Yeah, I didn't read any of them, but I was surprised at how low the user score was. Yeah, that's what I'm playing. I might even beat that tonight.
Go for it.
After we get done, and then I'll.
Well, you don't want to be dopey tomorrow.
That's true. I don't want to go to bed super late tonight, especially since I have a two-hour drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, Massive Chalice is definitely an awesome game. I really like it, and it's a lot shorter than a lot of the other things I've been playing too, which is also nice. Because looking back on my games of the year, games that I played this year, a lot of them are like 40, 50, 70, 80-hour RPGs. Fallout's coming out in a couple weeks.
I want to do something. We've kicked around this idea a little bit, but like, I want to do something where we can say like, this is the game I want you to play before the end of the year. You know what I mean? Like
each other?
Yeah, like we all pick a game for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe there's some Will's in the chat. Maybe there's some sort of incentive to do so.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like there's games that I really think you should play. Like Soma, after playing it, I'm like, Dan, you really got to play Soma before the
Yeah.
year's out. And I know I have games for Will like that and Eric like that. I don't know. I just think it would benefit from.
Yeah, I
And I'm
agree.
glad you played Massive Chalice because that was one Will and I both thought you'd like a lot.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's in the strategy RPG vein too. A lot of people compared it to XCOM. It doesn't really feel much like XCOM to me.
No, it's
But
just the permadeath kind of thing. That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
the
that's about the
closest. Yeah.
only something. And I always hate when a character of mine dies. I just feel like an ass. But the game does a good job of throwing curveballs at you with different types of characters and stuff, like, or even like your own characters who are inept. Like I had a drunk alchemist who was flinging bombs, and I accidentally killed one of my own guys with a errant bomb. It's like, God damn it! And it was someone with a relic.
Yep.
I had to pass on to someone else.
And then
but-
if you mate two drunks, their children are drunks, and then you have a lineage of drunks.
of drunks, yeah. And sometimes you can't get rid of the lineage of drunks. If all their kids are drunks, and they're just all drunk.
Did you ever have a house fully die out?
Yeah, because I've tried starting archer or hunter houses. So I would have a hunter, or I would get a hunter, and I would start building a keep right away, which, the further you go, the longer it takes. So it would be like 15 years before I could build a keep. By the time I put the hunter in the keep to make hunter babies, he would be in his 50s and would die out before he had any kids. I'm like, God dang it. So yeah, I still don't have any hunters. And I don't know if I'll be able to get any before the end of the game.
It's cool, like the lineages part of that game is the best part, and it's cool how they weave that into battles.
Yep.
Like the I forget what they're called. The enemy that when it attacks you, it not only does damage to you, but it raises your age by like 10 years.
5 years. It's a wrinkler.
Wrinkler, yeah.
Yeah, because if you go into battle with a couple old characters, which I have done, and I've had, we'll say like a 68-year-old Caberjack, a wrinkler comes out of nowhere and hits him. Even though it's not a hit that would normally kill him because he's got super high hit points, you raise that level 5 years. Even though the hit only does 2 damage, it's going to kill him of old age.
Yeah.
I've had that happen. A character that's almost full health just die from a wrinkler attack.
Yep.
It's terrible. Or I had one of my sage keeps got attacked by Cadence, and they're all like old researchers. One of them got hit by a wrinkler and died.
And it's cool once they become sages, they give up their family
Yep.
name.
Yep, that's just their first name, and if they got a nickname before they went into the sage keep or whatever,
Right. Yeah.
they'll keep the nickname too. But yeah, what a sweet game that is. It's really well done.
Really, really is.
Double Fine. A lot. One of the coolest parts too is the chalice. It's a one part male, one part female, and they talk to each other, and their whole interactions with each other is very entertaining too. So yeah, that's a sweet game.
Indeed.
I played a little bit of Splatoon. I don't have anything to talk about with that really. So
Did you end up playing my Mario Maker level?
no, I let Will borrow Mario Maker.
So,
I haven't played it.
bummer. Oh, that's what we need to do this weekend. Is I want you guys to sit and play my Mario Maker levels.
It's fine with me.
It's just so much fun to watch people play your levels that you made.
Yeah, it works for me. Well, let's do feedback, shall we?
Yeah.
Or you want to read feedback?
I didn't prepare it.
I don't have access to it.
Should I have prepared it? I don't think
No.
we had any. I know we had a couple Twitter things.
We had an email from Jake.
Oh, okay, that's good. All right. Well, let me
I don't know
call
if
up
it's on Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. You received 2 new messages.
Cool. Derek said he was going to write us a feedback too.
9:53 p.m. today. All right. Hey guys, loving the shows lately, and the website is looking good. The Taken King episode was great, and I got a chance to do the new raid for the first time with Tito and other folks from the Thumbstick Athletes Clan.
Nice.
That warms my heart.
Yes, it does. Bringing people together.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's That's how we know we've made it as a species.
Yes.
It's been a great experience going through Destiny again now on the PlayStation, as the game feels different depending on the people you play with. I'm looking forward to running some raids with Eric, and maybe Will can get caught up by the time Destiny 2 comes around next year. Don't hold your breath.
Yeah. No.
I know Will's in the chat, but you might be waiting a while for Will.
Yeah.
I also really like the tactics videos Will and Corey are doing, especially with them doing the character voices. It may not seem like many people are watching now, but I think it will catch on once there are more videos. Maybe this could birth a new sketch idea, 16-bit theater, where Corey and Will voice characters from famous scenes of 16-bit RPGs.
That's a great idea.
My girlfriend tells me over and over again that I should have gone into theater.
Uh-huh.
But I always tell her I'm normally a pretty reserved person and an introvert, like in public. It's just when I'm like really comfortable around, family and girlfriend, then the silliness comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe we could do Will and I could do a YouTube sketch show
Series. That's a good idea.
that'd be fun. I'm loving the PS4 after having it for about 3 weeks. I've mainly played Destiny and Rocket League, but I just did a run-through of Until Dawn. That was a really interesting experience, and although I didn't really love all the places it took you, I'd be excited to see more games like this come out. I know Will really loved Until Dawn. I want to play it before the year's out.
Yeah. I'd like to play it also if I get the opportunity.
Did Eric play it?
No, he was going to borrow Will's copy at some point.
Okay.
Did Will buy it digitally? No, I think he bought a physical copy.
How long's that game?
I think it's only like 12 hours or something like that. I don't think it's super long.
Yeah.
10, 12.
I'm anxious to see tonight if Eric actually took some time to go through Final Fantasy Tactics. Sorry about that. For tonight and what his impression of the game is. I know I really struggled with this game when it first came out, but eventually made myself get through the first couple hours, and it's since become one of my favorite games of all time.
Yep.
You're not
Us
alone.
too.
Yeah, you're not alone with that, Derek. And I still feel like, in terms of what I want out of a video game, I think Final Fantasy Tactics does it better than any game, really. I know I still say Final Fantasy VI is my favorite game of all time, but I just think Tactics just has so much baked into it.
It's more, I don't want to say it's a more complete game, but I guess there's more to it.
Yeah.
Than Final Fantasy VI, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. Yep. And Final Fantasy VI I think is more nostalgia,
right,
than anything.
Right.
It's still a great game, don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
that's probably the main reason why it's my number one.
Yeah. Eric was actually going to sit for this episode, sit in here and play Tactics on his Vita while we were recording the episode, but because we were going to start so late, he didn't. So, but I don't know. Maybe we'll make him play this week. I don't know if he's going to bring his Vita.
No, I think that's the last thing he'll want to do this weekend.
Yeah, is play Tactics. I'll be playing it on my phone, I'm sure, at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
And Derek,
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. You're not alone with the Rocket League thing too. I've still been playing Rocket League pretty religiously. I'm pretty close to getting to. I don't know what's after Bronze Rank 2, but I'm pretty close to it.
Nice.
I played a couple hours today. I shouldn't have. I had a lot of other things I should have done, but yeah.
I got to play more Rocket League.
It's fun.
I agree, and it controls great. It's the going in and having someone shit on you when I haven't played it in probably a couple months, and I have no patience for that.
Yeah, it's like if you're winning, nobody says anything if you make a bad play.
Yeah.
Everybody makes a bad play.
Yeah.
Everybody. It happens to everybody. But like if you jump on somebody when they make a bad play, I think it's like snowballs your team.
Yeah.
It stresses that person off, they get pissed, then you do something wrong and then they come back at you, and then all of a sudden your team hates each other, and then it's everyone else's fault, and I don't know, like everybody makes a bad play every now and again.
Yeah.
It's just
again, that's one of the reasons why Splatoon is my go-to multiplayer game. Mario Kart 2. There's no way to communicate with the other people other than like tagging, like where the other characters are.
I kind of like that. Yeah.
It's Nintendo,
What I want, like, and I think Heroes of the Storm should have this too, is if you mute everybody,
Mhm.
everybody should be able to see that you muted them.
Yeah.
Because as it is, like nobody knows if you've muted them. And I
Right.
feel like if they knew, like, oh, I've just been muted by everybody,
Right.
what's the point of me spewing this stuff? I want people to know that I'm not listening to them, I guess is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, definitely. Or at least have that be an option
Yeah.
for people to know that you muted them. Maybe not everyone would want that option, but
Yep.
to have that option.
Yeah, just even like, once I do it, just a line in the chat, Plain
Yep.
Sparky has muted you.
Yep. Yeah.
That's the end of it. It's over with at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter. We have Twitter notifications. Sorry, I'm kind of going by the seat of my pants here. Do we want to talk any hockey?
We can talk some brief hockey.
Yeah, so Ryan had a few tweets towards us, Ryan in Iowa. Tort's back in the NHL. Thoughts? Dan, I don't know if we got your opinion on it.
I have Sergei Bobrovsky, and if that can help him and the defense at all, that's great for me. That's my only thoughts about it. I mean, it was only a matter of time before he got a coaching job again anyway, so.
Yeah, and it's cool that he's the World Cup of Hockey USA coach.
Oh, is he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's a great coach. As I messaged Ryan on Twitter, I think he's a great coach with the right kind of team underneath him, and I think the Blue Jackets are a good fit, like the Rangers were when he became their coach. I think the Canucks were the worst fit for Tortorella, and that's why he had so many problems there. But I think it's the right fit for the coach and the team. So,
yeah.
And they can't get much worse.
No, they still haven't won yet, have they?
I don't think so. They lost tonight again, didn't they?
Probably.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yep.
And then Ryan wants to know, have any of you tried Rebel Galaxy? Kotaku just did an article, and it looks sweet and Firefly-esque.
You were talking about that last week, weren't you?
Yep, I'll probably have it. I'll probably have played through some of it by next week's episode.
Nice.
So, yeah, I think it looks and sounds awesome. It's kind of, it's not, what it sounds like is like what's the EVE Online?
Yeah.
But like single player.
Yeah. Totally.
But maybe I'm way off on that, but I don't know. It sounds awesome to me, and I'm going to try and get my hands on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we had an email.
Yep.
Let me call that up.
Dang it.
You all right? Are you going to get me sick this weekend?
No, I'm not sick. I just have a little... It's allergy season for me. So I got a little post-nasal drip.
Idaho Jake. Hey, fellas, I tried Broken Age, and it is a good game. I've enjoyed my time with it, but not sure if I will play more. I'm with you, Jake. That was kind of my impression of it. Like, I liked it for what it was, but it didn't grab me enough for me to like need to boot it up and play through it more.
Yeah, see, I've got to play the second act or whatever, second part.
Is it just 2 parts?
I beat the first part. The first part came out first, and the second part came out, I think, earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to play through that to get a beaten game.
The art style is great and the story is good, but Destiny has got my balls till Fallout 4.
Nice. We don't have long to wait, Jake. We don't have long to wait.
Is it next or the weekend after? The week after Halloween.
2 weeks from Tuesday.
Oh, 2 weeks from Tuesday.
Yeah,
The weekend after Extra Life.
It's 2 weeks from Tuesday. Yep. It's the week. No, it's the 10th. Eric will be doing his Extra Life when Fallout 4 comes out.
Is that a Tuesday?
Yeah. It's 2 weeks from this week, from this upcoming Tuesday. So it's 2.5 weeks away.
Wait, what weekend is Extra Life?
It's two weekends from this week.
What's the date though?
7th.
7th
and 8th.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna do the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th for Extra Life.
Yeah, I think so. If we can.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. Tuesday, I did the Taken King raid with a friend of mine and his Destiny buddies, and we did the raid in about 2 hours. We would have done it in one, but one guy kept dropping the ball. There's always that guy, and it's usually me.
Word.
Having watched some, or at least heard people discussing those raids, I from what I understand, is it's kind of easy to drop the ball if you don't know what you're doing.
Yep.
I got 2 gauntlets, a rocket launcher, and a scout rifle, and they are awesome. One tip for people is the moldering shards help you get better drops every time you raid, so don't store them in the vault. Always keep them on you. That sounds like a good tip. I wish Eric was here to give us some context.
Yeah. I don't know what any of that means.
I was watching Monday Night Football, not for the game, but for the official Star Wars trailer, and it gave me a raging boner that looks dark and awesome. Does your boner look dark and awesome, or does... Okay. But I will probably wait till after New Year's to even attempt to see it. Isn't that exactly what you said, Dan?
That is exactly what I said. And I'm sorry you had to watch that pathetic Giants game. That was awful.
That's hilarious. Apparently, the trailer, though, gave the game a huge boost in the ratings.
Oh, I'm sure. And that was right when it dropped out for me. I bet you that's why. I bet you people were tuning in right as because it was right before halftime. I bet you people were tuning in to watch the Star Wars trailer.
Right, you were on Sling TV.
Yep, Sling. Yeah. I did a free trial of Sling TV so I could watch the Giants just suck up the field. But that's right when it dropped out.
It sucks that because that's how I use Sling TV. Is I wanted to watch Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people do their free trial for reasons like that, and then because everybody's doing it at the same time, they have a bad experience with Sling TV, and then Sling TV gets a bad name.
Yep.
It's unfortunate for that
because I couldn't get it to work again after that, and I just started. That's when I played. That's when I started playing Pillars of Eternity. That's when I went to do the last boss battle. So it wasn't a complete disaster that night.
I'll have to say some of my favorite episodes are when you guys get drunk. Always a good time. It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's not as easy for us to get all schnockered.
Thummies, right? Was the last time.
Yeah, probably. I don't even remember being that drunk at last Thummy episode.
I think Eric and I were.
We'll have to get there again this year.
Oh, we will. One last thing, I've given up on the Ravens for this year. Man, they are sucking it this year. #1 draft, here we come. Are the Ravens really blowing it?
I don't know, actually. I haven't followed football as closely, but I'm checking right now.
I have not watched a single football game.
Really?
No. I always plan on it, but I never end up doing it.
Ravens are 1-5, so they could very well have first pick.
That's pretty bad. Are the Giants? What are they at?
3-3.
Still winning the division.
No, Philly's winning the division because they have the most divisional wins.
Are they 3-3?
Yep.
It's anybody's division though.
Well, that's the worst division in football, I think.
Eli Manning's been looking good though, hasn't he?
Yeah, until last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been doing relatively well.
I think that's it for feedback, Dan. I don't know if I missed anything. Let us know, and we'll for sure cover it next week.
Yeah. Do we have a plan for next week's episode?
The
Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Does that come out on Tuesday?
It came out.
No,
it came out. Oh, it comes out next Tuesday.
Yeah, it didn't.
Also, we wouldn't. Okay, we wouldn't do it until after having some time with it. We came up with a plan. I think Eric has it actually.
I think we were gonna do that. Oh, I was supposed to see if that gentleman from New York City was gonna come on, but I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Okay, so possibly C.
Maybe Dan. We could do letter C. I'm also thinking maybe Rebel Galaxy.
Okay.
That might be a good one to do.
Yeah. Maybe I'll buy it. How much is it? It's cheap now. It's on sale, right? Because it just came out.
I think it's 20.
Is it? I thought it was like 12.
Let's find out. $17.99.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yep. discounted 10%, normally 20.
Okay.
But 92% of 370 user reviews for this game are positive.
Cool.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. All right. Any other thoughts, Corey?
No, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't either. Not anymore. All right. That will do it for episode 222 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
Corey.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement. All right.